Last time we talked about modifier, and I wish that you watched the video or the record before. Today we're going to talk about main three lessons: subject verb agreement, pronoun antecedent, redundancy. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. So as we used to, we're going to watch number one, the video about subject verb agreement. Then we're going to go to the discussion. We are going to answer together. Then we're going to go to the final quiz to find out that you understand it or not. So grammar tutorial, subject verb agreement. Okay. Subject verb agreement.
Subject-verb agreement. The subject of a sentence must agree with the verb. If a subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. Wendy is a soccer player. The subject, Wendy, is singular, so the verb is also singular. If the subject were plural, the verb form would need to match it and also be plural. Wendy and Maya are soccer players, or they are soccer players. The team was exhausted. Team is singular, so it takes a singular verb. The team members were exhausted. Members is plural, so a plural verb is needed. The teams were all exhausted. Teams is plural, so the verb must be plural as well. All of this seems pretty simple so far, but we have been looking at short sentences. When we write, we pack information into our sentences. Sometimes that information comes between the subject and the verb. The focus of the stories, written by several prominent authors, is humans and nature. What is the subject of this sentence? All those stories and authors may make you consider using the plural verb are. But if you read closely, the subject is focus. There's just one focus, so it calls for the singular verb is. To check for subject-verb agreement, read through your sentences carefully and pay particular attention to the subject to see if it is singular or plural. Then, make sure your verb agrees.
So this is the main thing. I know that subject verb agreement is so easy just to fix it out. The problem that if we don't know where is the subject, like you have many nouns inside the sentence, and I give you this in the EST and the add. I told you that if we have a preposition, take care. What come after a preposition is not a subject. What come after the preposition is not the subject. Like the sentence that he gave it to us. He said the focus of. After of is not a subject. So the focus is the subject. Also, if you have a word that has apostrophe s or s apostrophe, the one that has s apostrophe s is not the subject. So let's go right now to the explanation, more explanation about subject verb agreement. So how we make the verb agree with the subject, as I told you, is not something like when I say Adam is, or Taha is, or Adam and Taha are. It's not this one. The problem that he's gonna bring for you more complicated. Every sentence or clause has a subject and a verb. The subject tells who or what the sentence is about. The verb expresses action or states a condition. The number of the subject or verb shows whether it's singular one or plural more than one. Verbs in the present tense have different singular and plural forms. A verb must agree with its subject, like we know. This is in the present tense. When the subject is I, you, or any plural noun or pronoun, a verb in the present tense must use its plural form without S. So they play. Ahmad and Ali eat. The plural form is the same as the basic form of the verb, except in the case of the verb be. When the subject is a singular noun or any singular pronoun except I and you, a verb in the present tense must use its singular form, like he plays, she eats. The singular form is the basic plus S or ES, except in the cases of have and be. Be is the only verb with different singular and plural form in the past tense, like I was, he was, she was, they were. Let's talk about some example. I run, I march, you run, you march, he, she, it, or the athlete runs, he, she, it, or the soldier marches, we run, we march, they or the athlete run, they or the soldier march. With have, I have time, I have traveled, you have time, you have traveled. You know that I, you, we, they take have, but he, she, it take has. He, she, it, the worker has time. He, she, it, the tourist has traveled. So all of this. When making a verb agree with its subject, take care of that. Be sure to identify the subject, to know where the subject, and the subject will never come after a preposition, or it will not come with S apostrophe or apostrophe S. And determine its number. Keep the points below in mind. The subject of a sentence is never part of a prepositional phrase. Will never come after a preposition. Any phrase or clause that comes between a subject and its verb doesn't change the number of the subject, and so should not change the number of the verb. Like if you have something come between the subject and the verb, between two commas, between two dashes, doesn't relate to the number. Forget about it, that it's not found. This rule applies even to interrupting phrases that seem to do adding to the subject, such as those beginning with in addition to, I don't care about it, along with, I don't care about it, and as well as, I don't care about it. The subject is before them. A linking verb must agree with its subject, regardless of the number of any predicate noun or pronoun to which it linked to the subject. The subject usually comes before the verb, but can sometimes come after. Sometimes you're going to find the subject come after, like in the cases of verted predicate. Like you're going to find the subject after the verb, like there is a student. The subject here is the student. The subject come after the verb in all sentences that begin with there is, there are, here is, here are, or the contraction there is or here is. Let's look at these examples. Look here. The discovery of ancient artifacts. Some people are going to say that the artifacts is the subject. No, it comes after a preposition of. So it's not part of the subject. The subject here, discovery, and the singular, so interests. Their trip, including visit to 2 archaeological sites, ends tomorrow. Some of the students are going to go and tell me that the subject is sites. No, this is interrupting sentence, non-essential sentence. Come between 2 commas, so it doesn't relate to the subject. The subject is trip singular, so ends. Scientific knowledge, along with the artifacts themselves, along the path, the same thing, between 2 commas, so it's additional, non-essential phrase. So the subject is knowledge, singular, so unlocks. The same thing, between 2 commas here, whose work is nearly incomplete, I don't care. The subject is archaeologist, so require. Here, when the subject come after the verb, no, before the verb. Here he said, on the hill. Teacher, you told us that no subject come after preposition, so it can't be hill at all. Where the subject is towers, this inverted sentence. So the sentence must be like that. 2 lightning towers stand on the hill. The same thing here. Here are the satellite photos. So the satellite photos are here. The same thing. There's only 1 clean shirt in my closet. So 1 clean shirt or only 1 clean shirt is there in my closet. Let's talk about part 2. We come to another problem that we start facing, the collective noun. Is the collective noun singular or plural? The collective noun sometimes can be singular and other times can be plural, depend on the meaning. Like, if we are dealing with the collective nouns as a unit, as one unit, so the verb must come in the singular form. If we are dealing with the collective noun as individuals, means plural, so the verb must become in the plural. Let's find here. Subject verb agreement with collective nouns and compound subject. A collective noun names a group of people or things. This chart lists common examples of collective nouns. When used as a subject, a collective noun may be either singular or plural, depending on the context in which it's used. So a collective noun is singular and requires a singular verb when the group it names act as a single unit. A single unit. A collective noun is plural and requires a plural verb when the members of the group act as individuals. Here are collective nouns: audience, bunch, class, club, committee, crew, family, folk, group, herd, jury, orchestra, staff, team, troop. They can be singular if we are dealing with them as one unit. They can be plural if we're dealing with them as individuals. Let's find some examples that they are singular. So we deal with them as a one unit. The senior class. Here we're talking about the senior class as a unit. One unit. So it must be singular. Graduates. The audience applauds. All of them as a unit. As a unit. So we take it singular. When it's going to be plural, the same thing. But here plural. The senior class, let's take care. For various destination, different destination. So how different destination is going to be one unit? One is going to go medical, the other one engineer, the other one army. So here we're talking about individual. So it must be plural, are leaving. The same sentence here. The audience discussed the performance among themselves. Here he gave us indicator. He said themselves, themselves. So here we're dealing with them as plural. So discuss. What about the compound subject? Take care because this also complicated. A compound subject consists of two or more subjects joined by a conjunction such as and or. Take care. Using and different from using or. So when two or more subjects are joined by and, it's a plural. Whether it's singular, 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 plural, plural, singular, or plural, plural, you're gonna deal with it as plural. Ahmed and Ali, plural. Boys and Ali, plural. Ali and boys, plural. Boys and girls, plural. So the compound subject is usually plural and requires a plural verb. However, if the subject joined by and are thought of as one item, in only this case. If we have using and we mean one item, so here is going to be singular, and I'm going to show example. Or if the word every or each precede them, like you're going to find every and there is and also, or each and there is and. So that means we need singular verb. When two or more singular subjects are joined by or, here is going to be different. Why? Because now, if there is or nor, and both of them take care, two or more singular subjects joined by or nor, the compound subject is singular and requires singular verb. If the both of them are singular. So Ahmed or Ali plays. Not like this. We said here Ahmed and Ali play. But here Ahmed or Ali or Ahmed nor Ali plays. When two or more plural, if they are plural, like boys or girls, so the verb is going to be plural. So the boys or the girls play. The boys nor the girls play. What about if we have singular subject and plural subject? You have to let the verb agree with the nearest, like Ahmed or the boys. So now which one near to the verb boys? The second one. So Ahmed or the boys eat. Change it. The boys or Ahmed eats. Because which one is near? Ahmed. Some example. A thunderstorm and a tornado, plural, have bread and butter, my favorite comfort food. He's talking about one kind of food. So here is not plural. Here must be singular, is, because bread and butter is one item. Every, singular. Every man and woman. I know that man and woman, it must be no, plural, but he said every or each, so singular. A thunderstorm or a windstorm, both of them are singular, so singular. Causes. Neither chips nor cookies, both of them are plural, so plural. Qualify. Take care here. One of them is singular, peach. The other one, right, is plural, so take the one is near, rising, so may, plural. Raisin or a beach, which one is near peach, so singular. We come also to another complicated item, the indefinite pronoun. The indefinite pronoun. Because of that here, you're going to find that I divide, or the explanation, divide the indefinite pronoun into three categories. The first one, singular. The verb will come singular with it. The second one, the verb will come plural. Other is going to be singular or plural according to the meaning of the sentence. So an indefinite pronoun refers to a person, place, or thing that may or may not be specifically named. Many indefinite pronouns are always singular. Some are always plural, and some can be either singular or plural depending on the context in which they are used. When indefinite pronouns are the subject of sentence, be sure the verb agree with them in number. Use a singular verb with indefinite pronouns that are always singular. Use a plural verb with indefinite pronouns that are always plural. Look for clues in the context that show whether the pronoun all, or any, or enough, or more, or most, none, some, such, because they can be singular or plural. So often these clues will appear in prepositional phrases after the pronoun or in the closed sentence before. These indefinite pronoun all the time singular. Another, everyone, anything that has every, anything that has each, anything that has no, anything that has body. Another, everyone, nothing, anybody, everything, nowhere, anyone, everywhere, one, anything, little, other, anywhere, much, somebody, each, neither, someone, either, nobody, something, everybody, no one, somewhere. These are always plural, both, few, many, other, several. These can be singular or plural, depend on the context. All, any, enough, more, most, none, some, such. Let's look at the first one. Each singular, so immediately is going to be has. Both plural, so immediately is going to be plural, air. Here depend on the context. Some of the music, some can be singular or plural, and here we talk about the music, so singular, seems. Some of the tunes, some can be singular or plural, but here he said tunes, so plural, seem. All, take care. He said after a hectic morning, all is now as it should be. He said it, so it's singular, so all is. Here the patients had a hectic morning, but now all calm and relaxed. He said the patients, so it must be plural, all. Ready to answer, guys? Streamer Adam, Engineer Tom.
Yes.
Okay. Let's find, and we're going to take it in turn. Now you know your turn, okay? So Streamer Adam first, then Engineer Taha. Look here again. He's just to give us some steps. Remember that a verb in the present tense must agree with its subject number. Take care, did the easiest. The subject of a sentence is never part of a prepositional phrase, whenever come after a preposition. Any phrase or clause that comes between a subject and its verb doesn't change the number of the subject. A linking verb must agree with its subject, not with any word in the predicate to which it linked the subject. A verb must agree with its subject even when the subject come after it. Like there is going to come after the subject. There are, here is, or here are. Streamer Adam, the first one.
The rays of the sun damage some people's eye.
Okay, we're going to check at the end. Thank you.
Okay.
Engineer Tom.
For me, the first sign of spring. لا is it.
Okay. Number 3, Streamer Adam.
Across the rooftops, dashes a familiar figure.
Okay. Engineer Taha.
There are bluebirds in the backyard.
Okay. Streamer Adam.
Boredom in addition to generosity. Here, boredom in addition to generosity motivates her work as a volunteer.
Let's find. The first one, the subject raised, not the sun, because it come after of. No subject come after preposition. So raise plural, we take damage. The second one, the subject is sign, singular. No, it's not spring. It's not spring because no subject come after preposition. So is. Here it's inverted sentence. Where is the subject? It's figure. The subject is figure. Why, mister? Because across is a preposition. And we said that we can find a subject after preposition. So here, it must be a familiar figure, dashes across the rooftops. Here also, the subject is here, bluebirds, plural. So it must be bluebirds are there. The same thing here. In addition to generosity between two commas, so I don't care about it. The subject is boredom, so motivate. Perfect, guys. Part 2, a little bit harder. Let's also remember, he said a collective noun can be singular or plural. A singular when the group act as a single unit, but plural when members of the group act as individual. Subject joined by and require a plural verb unless they are thought of as one item, like butter and bread, or precede by the word every or each. Singular subjects joined by or nor require a singular verb. Plural subjects joined by or nor require a plural verb. If or nor join a singular and plural subject, make the verb agree with the subject closest to it. Whose turn?
Me.
Okay.
A dog and a cat sometimes fight.
Okay. Engineer Taha.
Neither
Dolores nor Julio.
nor Julio knows the answer.
Okay. Streamer Adam.
Here, macaroni and cheese is always delicious.
Okay.
Either
Engineer Taha.
woodpeckers or the wind weaken the trees.
Streamer Adam.
The jury debates the verdict among themselves.
We have mistakes. A dog and a cat, yes, they are plural, so 5. Neither Dollars nor Julio. Here, both of them are singular, and we said the near, so knows. Julio knows. Here, macaroni and cheese, it's one thing because he said delicious. Talk about one thing, one dish. So is. Here now. Here now, Engineer Taha. Woodpeckers or the wind? Which one is near? Wind. Wind is singular. So weekends. Streamer Adam, the jury, I know that can be singular or plural, but look here, he said themselves. Themselves. So it must be plural. Debate. Clear, guys?
Clear.
Part 3. Let's go to a little bit harder. The indefinite pronoun, both, few, many, others, and several are always plural. The indefinite pronouns, all, any, enough, more, most, none, some, and such may be singular or plural, depending on the context in which they are used. Other common indefinite pronouns are always singular, like each, every, nobody, no one. Any phrase or clause that comes between a subject and its verb doesn't change the number of the subject. Whose turn? I think Engineer Taha.
Neither of the picture
Take care. Neither.
show.
Streamer Adam.
Some images are vague, but enough. Allow. What? No, allows.
Okay.
Most of the
Engineer Taha.
photography involves
Okay.
Only a few in the picture smiles for the camera.
some of the photos were taken on.
I have mistakes. Neither is singular. Neither singular all the time. Engineer Taha. Neither, either singular. So shows. Look here. You said allows. And enough can be singular or plural, depend on the context. And he said images, plural. So why you said allows, streamer Adam? Must be allowed. Here it's right, because most can be singular or plural, depend on the word, and here photography, so singular, involves. Again, only a few, it's plural all the time. Few is plural. Few is plural. Few is plural. So it must be smile. Some can be singular or plural. Here, look, it's plural, and here also plural. So where? Clear, guys?
Yes.
Let's go to another complex exercise. Streamer Adam, you're gonna choose.
Egg or cereal?
Eggs or cereal.
Eggs or cereal?
There is or. Look at after it.
Eggs or cereal makes a nutritious breakfast.
Okay. Engineer Taha.
Our study group.
Take care. Collective noun. Collective noun.
Meats.
Streamer Adam.
Your
Forget about what come between the two commas.
Your information, along with the earlier research, contributes to our pool of knowledge.
Engineer Taha.
The trim on these dresses.
Don't forget about what come after a preposition.
Is.
Streamer Adam, take care. None is singular or plural, or singular or plural, depend on what come after.
None of the gadgets work well.
So here, as you said, cereal come after or, so it's singular. Here, it's one unit. Nothing indicate about that they are individuals, so singular. Your information, I forget about what come between the commas, so singular. Trim, forget about what come after preposition, so singular. None here can be singular, plural, depend what come after, and here it's plural, so were. More exercise. And now, Engineer Taha. You're gonna choose from here, Engineer Taha, okay? Take care, I have the singular and plural, the plural and singular. Singular and plural, plural and singular.
Mister, can you give us 1 second? We will go out and enter again because someone called us and the voice in the Zoom is now lowered, so we can't hear you well.
Okay, yeah, quickly.
Okay. Continue.
Okay, so again, we need to take care the argue is plural, argue singular, is singular or plural, keep plural, keep singular. Let's find. Whose turn? Engineer Taha, I think.
The homework from my classes keeps me busy.
Streamer Adam.
Can we repeat the same answer or
No.
choose once for everyone?
Even you can repeat if someone choose the one is wrong, because of that I keep it for you.
Okay. The most comfortable food to wear is boots.
Okay, number 3.
The family sometimes argues with one another.
Okay.
Either a shawl or long gloves. Are the arms warm?
Mm-hmm.
Meeting with guidance
Counselor.
counselor. Or
Okay.
She or her colleague keeps the case in court today.
The first one, homework is the subject. Homework is the subject because no subject come after a preposition. So homework keeps. Here now, the footwear is the subject. So is. Here family, and he said one another. So we can deal with it as a unit. We can deal with it as a unit. They're going to be different individual. So it must be argue without S. Either a short or long gloves, the arms warm. You choose the verb, right? It must be R because long gloves, but here keep the arms warm. Keep, not R. Here meeting with the guidance council, 2 new students. So the 2 new students are meeting with the guidance counselor. This inverted sentence, the subject is students. Now here, she or her colleague, the case in courtyard. I know that keeps is right because colleague here is singular, but it must be argues. Clear, guys?
Clear.
Let's look at this part, the last part, then we're going to take the quiz. Whose turn?
Me.
Okay.
The doctor, along with her nurse, is seeing patients.
Engineer Taha.
neither crayons nor a pencil. Right.
Streamer Ed.
Here are the ingredients for the soup.
Streamer Adam. I'm sorry, Engineer Taha.
The number 2 I said right.
Okay.
Each of the forms require
Streamer Ed.
Every city and town has a history.
We have a mistake. The doctor is the subject. Forget about anything come between 2 commas. Is neither crane or nor pencil. Which one is, because nor, which one is near a pencil? So singular, right? Here, the subject here, ingredients, inverted sentence. So are. Each, Engineer Taha, is singular, requires. Each singular requires. Every singular has. Okay. So now each one is going to play with his own, okay?
Okay.
So I think Engineer Taha must enter from his mobile also to take the link.
Yeah, send it on the group of the Telegram
Okay.
and he will enter from.
Okay. We said subject verb agreement. I'm gonna bring something harder that include the thing that we take, not something easy. And I'm gonna bring it according to your level. Like I need quizzes and I need something for grade, not this, even not this, even not this. Can be grade 9. But it's easy. Grade 1, grade 3, grade 7. I want by grades. I want for grade 10. Okay, I'm waiting for you. Still waiting.
I'm telling the password for Taha.
Okay. Okay, let's start. Is it easy, guys?
Yes.
Okay, let's find. Annie and her brothers, it's easy. There is ants, plural, are, except if they are one unit, but they are not here. Either my mother or my father, so my father is singular, so take is, because or, nor take the one that near to the verb. The dog or the cats, or, so take the one that near to the verb. Cats, plural, so are. George and, it's easy. And means plural, so don't. One, forget about anything that come after a preposition. So one singular, so it's gonna be is. The man with all the birds, forget about the one that has preposition, so the man singular, so lives. The movie, forget about the things that come between the two commas. So the movie singular, so takes. The player, forget anything that come between the two commas. So the players plural, take one. Nobody singular, anything that has body singular, knows. $8. $8 here. Is it one unit or individual? Here he said the price of a movie. So it's one unit. So is. Clear, guys?
Clear.
Okay. The other one is pronoun antecedent. Also, let's watch something related to it. Then we are gonna go to explanation. Pronoun antecedents. Yes, here. Some people call it antecedents.
Pronoun antecedent agreement. My sister Jan is a gymnast. She's a member of the gymnastics club. Jan has been practicing her flips on the balance beam. My brothers and I watched the practice the other day. We cheered her on. The other club members were also practicing. They were all good, but Jan was the best. She's an expert. Seeing Jan perform is a treat, and I'll always be there to support them. Oops, I will always support Jan's team, but in this sentence, I should say, I'll always be there to support her. When writing, it's important to make sure that pronouns match the word or words they are renaming, both in gender and in number. That's called pronoun antecedent agreement. The noun that a pronoun is used in place of is called an antecedent. The antecedent usually comes before the pronoun that replaces it. For example, in the sentences, my sister Jan is a gymnast. She is a member of the gymnastics club. The antecedent, my sister Jan, comes before the pronoun that renames it, she. Some pronouns are singular, such as he, she, it, his, her, and its. These pronouns refer to one person or thing. The other pronouns are plural, such as we, they, our, and their. These pronouns refer to more than one person or thing. Some are masculine and refer to boys and men, such as he and his, while other pronouns are feminine and refer to girls and women, such as she and her. When you use pronouns, it's important to make sure that the pronouns that you use agree in number with the antecedents that they rename. For example, you would use a singular pronoun to rename a singular noun, such as, the girl puts on a uniform, she is ready. Or, the club is getting ready, its first game is today. In these sentences, the singular nouns girl and club agree with the singular pronouns that rename them, she and its. Likewise, you would use a plural pronoun to replace a plural noun, such as in, the girls put on uniforms, they're ready, and the fans enter the gym and find their seats. In these sentences, the plural nouns, girls and fans, agree with the plural pronouns that rename them, they and their. It's also important to make sure that the pronouns that you use agree in gender with the antecedents that they rename. For example, you would use a masculine pronoun to rename a masculine noun, such as in, the boy said the uniform is his. In this sentence, the masculine noun, boy, is renamed by the masculine pronoun, his. Likewise, you would use a feminine pronoun to rename a feminine noun, such as in, the girl said the uniform is hers. In this sentence, the feminine noun, girl, agrees with the feminine pronoun, hers, that renames it, both in gender and number. Speaking of putting on uniforms, it's almost time to meet my sister at gymnastics. My sister is the best. She can do anything. See you later.
Okay, now we learn about pronoun antecedent. Let's talk exclusively about it. So, pronoun antecedent here. So pronoun antecedent agreement in number, in person, and in gender. A pronoun is a word that stands for a noun or another pronoun. Pronouns get their meaning from the words for which they stand. Those words are called antecedents. Antecedent means come before, and usually antecedent do come before the pronoun that stands for them. In this example, the antecedents are yellow and the pronouns are green, like panda, they're the antecedent. After the mother panda, so it must be she, and her cubs became the zoo's biggest attraction. Whenever the cubs, the antecedent, were out, crowds came to see them. So them for the cubs, not for the crowds. The visitors, the antecedent, loved the cubs, and they stand for the visitors, not for the cubs. Took lots of photos with their phones. Who have phones? The visitors and cameras. Personal pronoun, the most common type pronoun, are classified by number and person. Number refers to a person is singular plural. A pronoun person is either first person, the person speaking, second person, the person spoken to, a third person, the person or thing spoken about. Third person singular pronoun are also classified by gender, masculine or feminine or neutral, neither masculine nor feminine. So here are some pronouns, as you can find, whether with number, person, or gender. First person, singular, like I, me, my, myself. Plural, we, us, ours, ourselves. Second person, singular, you, your, yours, yourself. Plural, you, your, yours, yourselves. Third person, he, him, his, himself. This masculine. She, her, hers, herself. This feminine. It's itself neutral. So plural, they, them, their, theirs, themselves. The following examples show pronoun with nouns antecedent, a pronoun with other pronoun as antecedent. Notice that the pronouns are highlighted in green and the antecedent is yellow. Skydivers, antecedent, so they. Skydivers, they. Root wheel, its. Root wheel, its. Others, we, ourselves. You, your. Now, agreement in number. Like here, the doctor gave her recommendation for my grandfather's treatment. So her here returned back to the doctor. Gave her recommendation for the doctor. Rami and Paul, plural, so there. Look, take care, please, because they said here that in this sentence, the plural pronoun there refer to two people. Use a singular person is the same thing that will happen in the subject-verb agreement. When two or more singular antecedents are joined by or nor. So if we have or nor and both of them are singular, use singular. Avi or Laila, which one is near? Laila is singular, and the girl, a feminine, so herself. Neither Rico nor Aaron, which one is near? Aaron is singular, and a boy or masculine, so his. If we have and, no, it's gonna be plural. Crows and ravens, so there. You and I are here, so ourselves. When either the teacher or the students, which one is near? Students, so plural, so them. Neither the officers nor the suspect, which one is near? Suspect. But here he told us take care of this. He said near the officer, no the suspect. He said here the verb where, as you can find, not was, not was. Actually we have to put was, but because he write where here, so that means that the main subject or the main antecedent is the plural. So we must say they. Take care of that. Because for me, I'm gonna say was here, and here I'm gonna say he or she. Here, let's read about this. He said the singular antecedent suspect is joined to the plural antecedent officer. So the correct person pronoun to use are the plural they and their. The last days of summer. Offered, take care. We're talking about days, not summer. We're talking about days, not summer. So there. Agreement in number. He said use a singular pronoun to refer to a collective noun that names a group. So if we are using them as a kind of unit, so singular. Individual, plural. So a flock of seagulls made way as a group, as a unit. So it's. Our school team performed well. Let's read it. But it failed to win the state competition. So as a unit, so it. A group of birds is called a sloth. Here he said is, so singular. So it may get its. Our class has, he said here has. So it's easy, singular. If he said have, so it's going to be there, plural. Let's look here when they use it as plural, as individual. The scientific community often share. Look at the verb here. He didn't say shares. He said share. So plural, so must be there. The team got together. Here in the past, it doesn't show that it's singular or plural. The rowing team got together and reviewed, scheduled to find the best time for practice. So here he's talking about individual, not one unit. So here, there. The audience couldn't hold back. Laughter, laughter. They're not going to laugh together. So mean that plural, there. Our band decided to split up. They're going to split. يعني يتفرقوا. So here plural. So we. Take care of shift in person and gender. Avoid shift in person and gender pronoun. A shift in person occurs when a person pronoun doesn't match the person of its antecedent. Like shift in person. On Tuesday, our club will have our first meeting. Okay. Here the correct thing is not our, because we're talking about the club. So its first meeting. Its first meeting as unit. Shift in person. We discovered that you didn't have to be a scientist to understand how rocket engines work. How we and you. It must be we and we, because we're talking about ourselves. A shift in gender occurs when the gender of a person pronoun is different from that of its antecedent. Like the goose is sitting on its neuter nest. I know that its is talking about the goose, but here sometimes it's better to use the feminine one. I know that it's going to be hard, but this we must do it. Look here. Here he said its and here he said her. Why here its and here her? You have to use both its or both her. Shift in gender. When we saw the cruise ship, it seemed enormous. Okay. Top goats guided her. How her? It must be it, or her. So she, her, or it, as we said. When gender is unknown, either use his or her or rewrite the sentence. Like here, each student, that we know that the student now he said each, so it must be singular. So there is wrong. So okay, is it feminine or masculine? No problem, because it can be this or this. So we're gonna write his or her. But if you said all of the students, plural, so there. Vague antecedents. The problem now, if we don't know the antecedent, what we're going to do? Take care of that. A pronoun antecedent should be stated or clearly understood. A vague antecedent occurs when it's impossible to know exactly what the pronoun stands for. A vague antecedent can cause confusion because the reader often cannot be sure to what or whom the pronoun refers. Without a clear antecedent, the reader may misunderstand the meaning of the sentence. Often, the solution is to change the vague pronoun to one or more nouns. Like here, look at this one. I have always been interested in how dolphins talk to each other. This is the reason. This stands for what? And this is what we take in the EST. This stands for what? We have to have an antecedent. This is the reason I decided to write my research paper on dolphin communication. So this is a vague pronoun, redundancy that we're going to talk about. So we have to write, what is this? So this interest. Another fake, in the school my great aunt attended. You were expected to stand up when addressed by the teacher. Okay, in the school my great aunt attended you. Where is the antecedent for you? Here, he's talking to someone, but we don't know. So it's clearly to delete the pronoun because it doesn't have antecedent and put the noun, students. The pronoun which, this, that, these, and those, if they come without any indication or without any antecedent, they are vague. You have to mention something to clarify them. Shouldn't be used to refer to a vague or overly general idea. Like here, Governor Murphy gave a strong speech yesterday to a large crowd. Okay, that could be responsible. That stands for what? We don't know. So it's better to say that speech again. A son found a purse in the lobby and turned it in at the front desk. This led, this what? This what? It's vague. No antecedent. So it must be his honesty. To attach the frame, use these. These what? It must be clear. So these larger screws. The person pronoun it, they, and you always should have clear antecedent. If the antecedent is fake, revise the sentence. Like this one. March will begin studying marine mammals soon. It should be very educational. It stands for what? Here, mammals, plural. And March, it mustn't be it. So here he talk about something else. So no antecedent, so you have to change it. So he changed it with the experience. To do well on the test, you need to remember, again, the same thing that we take it up. To do well on the test, you are talking to you. Who are you? We don't know. So it's better to replace it with a clear noun, students. Agreement with indefinite pronoun. You have learned that the antecedent of a pronoun may be another pronoun. It's important to make sure that the pronouns agree. Like here, I see that you remember to bring your report. Yes, your, agree with you. We should take our jackets in case the temperature drops. Our, agree with we. Whoever left his jacket here is going to be sorry. So his, agree with whoever. Even here, I can write her, his or her. So pronoun antecedent agreement may be especially confusing with an antecedent that is an indefinite pronoun. If it's an indefinite pronoun, it's going to be not clear. I'm going to use singular. I'm going to use plural. I'm going to use feminine. I'm going to use masculine. Indefinite pronoun are pronouns that don't refer to a particular person, thing, or amount. They include words such as each, everybody, either, and one. As with other pronouns, it's important to make sure to use correct pronoun antecedent agreement in sentence with indefinite pronoun. Pay special attention to the number of person pronoun when the antecedent is a singular indefinite pronoun, because we know that the indefinite pronoun can be singular, can be plural, or can be both, depending on the meaning of the sentence. Use a single person pronoun when its antecedent is a singular indefinite pronoun. Like if anybody is the antecedent. Anybody is singular, but it can be for girls or boys. It can be feminine or masculine. Because of that, you write he or she. We collected many shells, okay, last summer. Each is beautiful in its uniqueness. If you look here, each we know that it's singular, so we take its. Despite that we have shells, but each is singular, so we take its because the shell is neutral. Watch out for a prepositional phrase that follow an indefinite pronoun. The person pronoun agree with the indefinite pronoun, not with the object preposition. Don't care about the object preposition, like here. Neither of the athlete reach. We know that neither is singular. Forget about the athlete that it's plural because it come after preposition. So neither is gonna be his or her. It can be his or her. Everything also is singular. Forget about what come after a preposition. So everything, it's. Here are the singular indefinite pronouns. Another, anybody, anyone, anything, each, either, everybody, everyone, everything, little, much, neither, nobody, no one, nothing, one, other, somebody, someone, something. Plural, both, few, many, other, several. It can be singular, plural, all, any, more, most, none, some. Let's look at the first one. Either, to care. Either is singular. Either is singular. How you sit there? It must be its or his or her. But here we are talking about the office, so it's. Look at this one. One is singular. One of the cats has load there. How plural? So one, it must be its or his or her, because cats, so it's gonna be its. Again, everyone is singular. So how you put there? So everyone here, remember, so we're talking about girls or boys, so everyone his or her. Now with plural, several is plural. So how we said it's is wrong. So several there. Many is plural. How we said here. Many there. Now if it's gonna be singular or plural, most, it can be singular or plural, depending on what come after. Here he said most of the planet. Singular. So most it. Most of our friends, plural. So it must be they. Ready to answer?
Yes.
Streamer Adam, the first one. Read it.
Which sentence does not include an error in pronoun antecedent agreement?
Yes, I don't need any error. Which one doesn't have any error?
Okay. Louise visits Mayan ruins to study its ancient architecture.
Architecture.
architecture. In its style, Mayan step pyramids are dramatic and complex. The size of the stone pyramid impresses itself on visitors right away.
Which one doesn't have any error?
A.
Lois visit Mayan ruins to study its
Mayan دي حضارة صح؟
ruins. It's the main thing. Can I say its?
No.
I give you a clue. I'm not gonna give you other clue.
B.
Okay, that's fine at the end. Engineer Taha.
History also remembers the Mayan people for its unpleasant acts of human sacrifice. If a person travels by train, they will see the landscape roll by. The sloth slowly lifted its head and opened its mouth to bite off a leaf. See.
Streamer Adam.
One of these plants has an unusual pattern on their leaves. Early astronomers had to use their eyes alone to study the stars. An ancient Greek astronomer used their tools to predict positions of the sun. D.
B.
Yes.
Okay, Junior Tom.
Neither Karen nor Keisha knew the source of the crash until she saw Ruffles running from the kitchen. Both Will and Josh understand that you must follow the steps of the experiment exactly. Either the day lily or the candy lily will prove themselves to be the better flower for our God.
Which one is right?
C.
I didn't give you a hint before, all right?
No.
Okay, he said either the day lily or candy lily, or yeah, singular, themselves.
B.
B.
Yes.
Okay, number 5, streamer Adam.
A large herd of buffalo thundered across the plain and left a cloud of dust in their wake. Our gymnastics team proved their skills during the individual floor exercises. When the crowd reached the center of town, the mayor was surprised by their sight.
Take care, did the easiest part. We're still in part 1.
C.
Okay, we have mistakes. The first one. Why this is wrong? Why this is wrong? As you can find here, in its style, it's for pyramids, it's for pyramids, plural. So in their style. Okay, which one is right? Look here. Ruins also plural, so we can't say this is there. But look here, the size, forget about what come after preposition. The size of the stone pyramids impresses itself. So the size itself. The size itself. Now, this one is right because the sloth, it's. Sloth, it's. But here, why it's wrong? Where's the pronoun? He said it's for people. How it's for people? It must be there. Also here, he said if a person. So here it must be he or she, not they. This is also right. Astronomers, they're there. Astronomer there. Here he said one, so it's, because we're talking about the plants. It's not there. Here's the same thing. Astronomer, singular. So we must say his or her tools. This one, both, plural. Both. So must be they, not he. Neither. Okay, Karen or Keisha. So here singular. So it can be she. The right. Because both of them are girls. So this is the right one. Either the dill lily or candle lily themselves is wrong. Because it must be itself. This one also. When the crowd read the center of the town, 1 unit. 1 unit. So the mayor was surprised by its size, not there. Its. Look at this one. A large herd, okay, of buffalo thundered across the plain and they left a cloud of dust. Just wait, mister. Here we're talking about 1 unit. 1 unit. So it must be its. Wait. Our gymnastic team provide their skills during individuals. So here, there, because they are individual. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Hello, clear?
Yes. Yes.
Part 2. And streamer, I'm sorry, Engineer Taha. We need to know that the underlying pronoun, is it vague or clear? That it has antecedent.
I enjoyed reading Moby. What?
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick. But they never explained what the whale.
Whale implies. They refer to anything here? If it doesn't refer, so you're going to say that it's vague.
Vague.
Okay. Streamer Adam.
We accidentally disturbed a bee's nest. This made the bees very angry. It refers to disturbed. So
Why he doesn't mention?
he said we accidentally disturbed a bee's nest. This made the bees very angry. This refers to the disturbance he made.
I have to find the antecedent in the same sentence, not in another sentence.
So the first sentence doesn't relate to the second?
No, they are related, but here this alone, that alone, those alone, here alone, we said that they're going to be vague. He must say here, this action, streamer Adam.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand the question. Okay.
Okay. Engineer Taha.
She was a car sick, the dog was restless, and the air conditioner was broken. These misfortunes made our trip to the aquarium unpleasant. Clear.
Bravo. These misfortunes. Okay.
When we arrived at the aquarium, she told us that the whale show was about to start.
She here refer to anything?
No.
Clear or fake?
Fake.
If
Engineer Taha.
a police car arrives, show them the broken window at the back of the shop. Clear.
Streamer Adam.
The flyer says that you must be 18 to enter the contest. Clear.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. They here is vague because it doesn't show to anybody. This also is vague because it doesn't show for anything. Here it's right. This misfortune. So these refer to misfortune. Here it's right because she doesn't have any antecedent. Here it's wrong. Them. Who are they? Nothing here indicate them. He said the police car. I know that you mean the policeman, but it's not shown here. So it's vague. The same thing here. I said you all the time is vague because you are writing. You're not talking. You are writing, you're not talking. Part 3. Whose turn?
It's me.
Okay. Which sentence include an error? Now find the one that has an error. No, the one that is right.
Okay. Anybody who wants to help with beach cleanup should sign their name here. Sharks occasionally show up on beaches, but most keep themselves far away from humans.
We need the one that has mistakes or has a mistake.
A.
Engineer Tom. Also, which one has a mistake?
Either of those saleswomen would be happy to offer her assistance. One of the tigers in the zoo hurt their paw. B.
Okay, streamer Adam. Which one has a problem? Also mistake.
Each of the female leads in the play remembered their lines. All of the artists displayed their paintings at the art show. B.
That has errors, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4. Streamer Adam.
Anyone who needs help with this problem should raise his or her hand. Someone spilled trash in this big parking lot and they never cleaned up the mess. B.
Streamer Adam.
Mister, I want to change my answer in the last question.
Number 3.
Yeah, to be A.
Yes. Because each singular, his or her. And
Yeah.
here female, so her. Okay, number 5, streamer Adam.
Several of the panda cubs have started to explore their environment. Few of these zoo animals ever will return to its life in the wild. B.
Engineer Tom.
Many of the students have some experience glazing and firing his or her own pottery. Each of the girls will write a complete computer program by herself. B.
Okay. Let's find. The first one has a problem because anybody is singular. So how we write there? Here it's right. He said most. Okay, and here we're talking about sharks, and most. Do we have anything? Yes. So it's actually agree. There's only the error here. One singular. So how you sit there? Either is singular, because of that he said her, because we're talking about women, saleswomen. Here each is singular, so how you sit there? It's wrong. But all is plural, and here we sit there. Here someone is singular, so how we sit there? You must write here he or she. Anyone is singular, and he write his or her. Few, it's plural, and here he said it's, so it's wrong. Several, it's plural, and he said there, so it's right. Each is singular, and here he said herself because we're talking about the girl. So this is right. The one that is wrong is here. Many is plural, and here he said his or her. Clear?
Clear.
Okay, streamer Adam. Yalla quickly.
Okay. The hikers soon will realize that they can't explore the Grand Canyon in just one day.
Engineer Taha.
Either the spaniel or the golden retriever will prove itself.
The President and the Congress announced their goals for the next year.
The crowd cheered and clapped when their favorite player scored a touchdown.
Neither Rob nor Andy offered his opinion in the outcome.
Hiker, they. Golden retriever or spaniel, so itself. President and the Congress, plural, so there. Crowd here, because we're talking about cheered and clapped, so they're not going to be together. Different, and he said favorite player. So there, here Rob and Andy. Andy is singular, so his. Part 2. Whose turn? Whose turn?
Me.
Okay, yalla. They, is it clear or vague?
They predict that this summer will be very hot. Vague.
Engineer Taha.
I learned that you have to pass a swimming test to become a lifeguard. Clear.
Streamer Adam.
In our club, we have to pay dues every 6 months. Clear.
Engineer Taha.
On the news, it mentioned that our town now recycles many types of plastic. Clear.
Streamer Adam.
You will have to practice more often to improve your juggling. Vague.
Mistakes. Why? Here you and here you. But here you has your. Here you has your. So it's a kind of antecedents. So this is right. Clear. But this you, we don't know he's talking to whom. No antecedent for it. So it's vague. Take care. Here your, so you. Here nothing indicates. So it must be, I learned that students have to pass swimming test to become a lifeguard. The last part. Engineer Taha.
Most of the girls' softball team members brought their.
Each of the 3 finalists pushed himself to excel more than the other boys.
Few of the dancers brought their.
Every one of these snakes has diamond tape marking on their head.
There?
Yeah.
If someone has a good idea for a project, they should present the group.
I think it's I will change my answer. It's
We have still mistakes. No, we don't have. I thought that. You change it. Okay. Most plural, so there. Each singular, so himself. Few plural, so there. Everyone is singular. So it's here the problem. The one that I think about. If someone has a good idea for a project, should present it to the group. No, here it must be singular. Someone is singular. So he or she should present it to the group. This answer is wrong. This one is wrong. Engineer Taha, this one is wrong. It's answered wrong here. Someone is singular, so it must be he or she. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's go to pronoun antecedent exercise when you have the other session.
what?
You told me that you have a session today.
Yeah. It's at
When?
5.
At 5? Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, let's look at something that quizzes and for grade 10. Okay, waiting for you to click on the link. Okay, I have Engineer Taha. Where's Streamer Adam? Start, guys. Okay. Let's see now, because I thought that there are many mistakes. Each singular, so his. Both plural, so there. All plural, so there. All plural, so there. Some, take care. Some of this, there are some, it can be singular, plural, and here he said has. So has, now we know that some can be singular, plural, and here he said has, so it's singular. So it's. None is singular, so was. What is the antecedent sentence? None of the singers. Take care. The antecedent here doesn't come after preposition. It's none. And the answer is going to be was. Why he doesn't show the answer? What is the antecedent only? So none is going to be was. None of the singers was. The same thing here? No. Either is singular, and here we're talking about or Hank, I'm sorry. So Hank is a boy or a masculine, and singular, so his. Which word give you the best clue for choosing the correct pronoun in the following sentence? Either German or Hank will let us, actually here is gonna be use his. But which word gives the indicator is or. Why? Because what come after or will determine. Neither, as you can find here, neither the cat, and we know that neither is going to be nor, neither nor. Dogs had eaten. Here we have dogs is the last thing after nor, so it's going to be there, plural. Which word gives you the best clue for choosing the correct answer in the following sentence? Neither the cat, the dogs. Neither, it can be the word that will give you. Okay, so neither nor, neither nor, neither nor. Dogs, dogs here is plural, so it's gonna be there, there. Neither the dogs, the answer, nor, okay. The cat, here we have the cat, here we have the cat is the last one, so it's. Which word offer the best clues as to which word to pick in the following sentence? Okay, again, we're talking about the words, which one is will give us. He said here, neither the dogs or the cat had eaten, so it's gonna be its meal. The track team has, here we're talking about that team are gonna be one unit, so we're gonna say singular. Individual is gonna be plural. So the track unit has, here he said has, so one unit. So it's. Why the answer you choose forward? The following sentence correct. The track team has, again, we said it's. Why? Because we're dealing with it as a unit. Since team is a collective but singular, you must use a singular pronoun. The track team have, here he said have, so easily to say that they are dealing with it as individuals. So there, spare time, each one has spare time. So again, why? Because since team is collective but the members are acting independently, you must use a plural pronoun. How do you feel about pronoun antecedent agreement? Okay. Any question regarding pronoun antecedent agreement?
No, thanks.
Now let's go to redundancy. I think we studied redundancy before. Engineer Taha and Adam, did we study redundancy before?
No.
Okay. I need no, I didn't need lessons. So redundancy actually in act, mostly in act. No, I give you in the EST redundancy. The right?
Yes, I don't remember.
Okay, so you're gonna look here at redundancy. You're gonna look here in front of you. Okay, actually redundancy, someone must share, someone must enter, please, just to start it. Adam, you're gonna enter, yes, or you can write the game code. Can you hear me, Adam?
Yes, we are entering from Taha's phone.
Join myquiz.com, then 440936. You want me to share it with you?
No.
Because you still did enter.
It's loading.
I've shared the link if it's okay. You can click on it, you're gonna enter directly. Okay. So actually the redundancy is not only redundancy. We can say that the irrelevancy, so something that is irrelevant, and wordness. And actually this a lesson that relate to the EST and SAT and ACT. So let's find the first one. I'd want you to answer. The question is, I know what irrelevancy in the term of written material. Forget about the answer. Another one. I know what is redundancy in the terms of written material. Again, we don't need it. Just skip all the things. The last one is going to talk about that wordness, because I told you that they are the three relate to each other. I know that you have redundancy, not irrelevant, but let's talk about the three of them because they are related. Irrelevant material, what is this? When reading a paragraph, it's material that doesn't focus on the main point, so it's irrelevant. Like I'm talking about an accident, then I start going to like market issue. What is the problem between, or what is the relationship between the accident and market issue? So ask yourself, does this contribute to the paragraph as a whole? Does it stray from the overall point being made? There's a paragraph actually that has information that is irrelevant. It's not related. Take care. You don't have irrelevant, but it's important to know it. Most people are aware that a symbol composed of three arrows forming a circle indicate that a container is somehow associated with recycling. This one that has recycling. Far fewer individuals know what the little letters and numbers in the center of this symbol indicate. These markings designate the particular kind of plastic from which the item is made. The letters are acronyms that designate the item's broad category of plastic and provide detail about the specific thickness, density, durability of the material. For instance, PET and PETE both stand for the same thing: post-consumer polyethylene terephthalate. while HDPE stands for high density polyethylene. The numbers provide the same information in a different way. A PET bottle can be designated by a numeral 1 inside the recycling arrows, while an HDPE bottle can be identified by a 2. By referring to these symbols, consumers can discern where each item should be recycled. Recycled material should always be placed in the correct stream. While this system is very accurate, it's not consumer friendly. People glancing over a product's packaging they wish to recycle might encounter the symbol and not know what it means, resulting in their recycling it incorrectly. So the next time you purchase something made of plastic, make sure to decode these symbols. I know that there is something here, it's irrelevant. So the author is considering removing sentence 4 from the sentence. Take care. You want to remove sentence 4. The letters are acronyms that designate the item's broad category of plastic and provide detail about the specific thickness, density, and durability of the material. And this question you pass through. He said yes to or no. Take care. You can carry, because this sentence you have to decide first that it's related to what come before and come after or not. Before he said these marking designated the particular kind of plastic from which the item is made. After he said, for instance, PET and PETE both stand for the same thing, post-consumer polyethylene terephthalate, while HDPE stands for high-density polyethylene. Here he said that the letters are acronyms that designate the item's broad category plastic and provide detail about the specific thickness, density, and durability of the material. What do you think? Are you going to delete it or not? Streamer Adam and Taha, Junior Taha. Are you going to delete it or not?
Sentence 4 from the
Yes.
passage.
Yes or no first? You and thoughts think. Are you going to delete it? Yes. Are you going to not delete it? No.
Can you show it to us again?
Let's go back. I think I showed you the answer. This one.
We didn't notice. The letters.
This one.
Oh, the letters.
Should we delete it or not?
Category of plastic and provide details about the specific thickness.
Should we delete it?
I don't think so.
So no. Yes? Okay, let's find. Here, the answer and justification. The sentence in question is functioning to convey information about the letters and recycling symbols. The right. One of two major points the passage is addressing, along with numbers and those symbols. If we remove the sentence, it would disrupt the paragraph structure of discussing. So both letter and numbers, though. So that means that we are not going to delete it. Why? Why? Because the passage would lose valuable detail and its pattern structure of discussing both letters and numbers would be disturbed. Okay, I don't know if you can see sentence 8 or not.
No, we can.
There's the problem. Okay, so let's skip it. Okay, the second one is wordness. As I told you, you have redundancy. No, wordness, not irrelevant, but we need to know all. What this? Wordness, grammatical error. Grammatical error, in which extra words and phrases are added unnecessarily. So he add for you many words that they are not necessary. Concise wording is preferred because it's shorter. This is what I told you before. But we applied actually in SAT and ACT better than EST. And it's easier to understand because that we choose the one that is shorter. Rule of thumb, if the writing is shorter and the meaning is the same, go with it. How do we make it shorter? Allison took me to a party. That was a very funny time. Look now here, make it shorter. Allison took me to a very fun party. Shorter, and give you the meaning exactly. I enjoyed getting my nourishment by way of eating fried foods. Okay, we can say I enjoy eating fried foods, except saying all this sentence. So this is the meaning of wordness. I'm not gonna just. But if you give us example, he then wrote an enthusiastic article for Standard Magazine, being in the place which. We can say in which directly. We can say in which directly. The shorter and gives the meaning. Because I want to arrive to redundancy. Again, this one. You answer it?
Yes.
Okay. Now the main thing, redundancy. Did the main thing for us. What is this? Repeated information. And this happened also in Satin Act. Repeated information. Happens in one of two ways. Because of that, I told you that we studied together. Two synonyms will be used to describe something when only one is necessary. Smart and intelligent. Why you say smart and intelligent? They are the same. It can be smart or intelligent. A phrase will be added that is implied by another word or phrase in the sentence. Or you bring a big phrase and you have the word. It's clear in the sentence. How do you fix it? Look here. Justin is a very friendly and amicable guy. Okay, why? Friendly and amicable are the same. It can be a friendly guy or can be amicable guy, one of them. This article contains pertinent information that offers relevant facts for doing well in Act English. Again, why you just write all these things? We can say that this article contains pertinent information for doing. Offers relevant means pertinent. Clear, guys? So don't put anything that make a repetition. This redundancy. Okay, look at this one. I think I might possibly have made them all. Why? I can say I have. This is the one that we said shorter. Because here all the question. Today's myth repertoire is so vast that she could speak consecutively. Okay, he said that. So why we're gonna this redundancy? Why we're gonna repeat again? Why repetition? He also began to calculate annual table for yearly sets of astronomical data, which became the basis for, okay, why all these things which became done till astronomical data. So this is the strategies, as we said before, shorter is better, get to the shortest answer, this an act, and determine the underlying portion is important. Clear, guys? Any question regarding redundancy?
No, thanks.
Okay, the last thing is argumentative essay. Actually, I'm going to talk about when you are writing a debate or argumentative essay, you have to give your reason. It's like Streamer Adam and Engineer Taha now fighting together. According to that, they're going to go to ACT test or EST test. So you have to give your justification. Why you're going to go ACT and why is better. Why you're going to go to the EST and why is better. And here you have to mention facts, statistics. Don't be subjective. Don't depend on your point of view. It mustn't be included because this is a bias. And we talked about this before. You mustn't be included yours. You have to give me facts, statistics, other people's opinion, like people that they are smarter, people that they are famous. Clear, Streamer Adam, Engineer Taha?
Clear.
Any other information that you want from me?
No, thanks.
Okay. Just tell me tomorrow what you're going to do after you just going out from the test. Goodbye. I'm going to put for you the record. Bye.
Bye.
You say